Wolverine is one of Marvel's most iconic characters, a grizzled, clawed anti-hero with a mysterious past and an endless supply of angst. But when it comes to his kids, things get complicated. From the wildly successful X-23 to the countless forgotten offspring scattered across alternate universes and one-off storylines, Wolverine's children are as messy as his love life, if not more so. Today we're breaking down the history of Wolverine's kids, their origins, powers, and where they stand today, and exploring why this trope has become so tired. Buckle up, folks, because it turns out Logan really needs to keep it in his pants. Let's start with the most famous of Wolverine's children, Laura Kinney, aka X-23. Created as a genetic clone of Wolverine, Laura first appeared in Nyx number 3, or is it NYX? 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 Whatever. Laura first appeared in 2004 and later got her full origin story in X-23 Innocence Lost. Raised in a lab as a weapon, Laura was trained to be an assassin, but eventually broke free and joined the X-Men. What sets Laura apart from Logan isn't just her gender or her two-claw setup, it's her struggle to find humanity after being treated like a tool. Laura's journey is about overcoming her trauma, and fans love her for it. In fact, Laura became so beloved that she actually took up the mantle of Wolverine herself in All New Wolverine in 2015. She's a success story, one of the few Wolverine kids to truly escape his shadow. Next, we have Daken, Wolverine's son with Itsu Akihiro. First introduced in Wolverine Origins number 10 in 2007, Daken is the polar opposite of Laura. Where Laura seeks redemption, Daken embraces his darker instincts. With pheromone manipulation, retractable claws, and an attitude as sharp as his blades, Daken has carved out a reputation as a cunning, morally ambiguous anti-hero. Daken's relationship with Logan is fraught with tension. He blames his father for the tragedies in his life, and their battles have been as much emotional as they have been physical. While Daken has had notable runs in Dark Avengers and All New Wolverine, he's often overshadowed by other characters, never quite breaking into the mainstream popularity like Laura. And then there's Gabby Kenny, aka Honey Badger, who debuted in All New Wolverine number 2 in 2015. Gabby is another clone of Wolverine, but with a twist. She's cheerful, optimistic, and downright adorable. She's immune to pain, which makes her fearless, and her humorous personality provides a stark contrast to the usual brooding Wolverine vibe. Gabby became Laura's sidekick and quickly won fans' hearts. Her bond with Laura is one of the most heartfelt aspects of recent Wolverine stories. However, like Daken, Gabby's narrative potential is often tied to Laura's. While she's had moments of brilliance, she hasn't quite broken out as a solo character yet. But it's always fun to see her interacting with Laura. Now, let's dig into the lesser-known members of Wolverine's brood, starting with Arista from Wolverine: The Jungle Adventure in 1990. Arista is the son of Wolverine and Gak. Gak is a native of the Savage Land. Arista was born and raised in the jungle, and Arista actually had potential for unique storytelling, but he's barely been mentioned since his debut. Then there's William Downing, aka Gunhawk, a supposed illegitimate son of Logan who popped up in Wolverine Weapon X-Files. And let's not forget Fire Knives, Sawfist, and Cannon Foot, 3 obscure children of Wolverine who all sound like rejected Mortal Kombat characters. These guys barely had an impact before fading into obscurity. I'm not sure if there's even a handful of people who really remember them. Then there's Emiko, Logan's adopted daughter. And Emiko had a touching backstory, but never received much development outside of Wolverine's solo series. Rain, Wolverine's child from Madripoor, also falls into the same category of underdeveloped and forgotten characters. But Wolverine's kids aren't just limited to the main continuity. Alternate universes have their fair share of clawed offspring too. Cameron Howlett from Exiles was a time-hopping version of Logan's son. Kirika, aka X-23 in the Age of Apocalypse universe, was the daughter of Wolverine and Mariko Yoshida. And Saberclaw? Well, he's basically what if Wolverine had even more daddy issues. Torrent, the daughter of Wolverine and Storm in an alternate timeline. And Wild Thing, the daughter of Logan and Elektra, Both had potential, but were largely relegated to forgotten corners of the multiverse. James Hudson Jr., Logan's son from the Ultimate X-Men universe, had a decent run before the Ultimate line fizzled out and died. And we cannot forget Hulk Jr., the apocalyptic offspring of Wolverine and She-Hulk in Old Man Logan. And there's also Ray's Darkholme, Wolverine's son with Mystique, who felt like an edgier, more confusing version of Daken. So why does this Wolverine has secret kids trope feel so tired? Part of the problem is oversaturation. Logan's been around for decades, and Marvel has leaned into the idea of unknown offspring to generate drama with him. But for every success like Laura or Daken, there are dozens of forgettable characters who never get the chance to shine. The trope also undermines Logan's character. Wolverine's appeal lies in his loner, found family dynamic. By constantly introducing blood relatives, Marvel risks diluting some of what makes him compelling. That said, not all of Wolverine's kids are failures. Characters like Laura, Daken, and Gabby have added depth to Logan's story, showing different facets of his personality. They've also created a Wolverine family dynamic that mirrors the found family theme of the X-Men. But for every Laura, there's an Arista. For every Gabby, there's a Cannonfoot. The inconsistency in how Marvel develops these characters has made the trope feel like a gimmick, rather than a meaningful part of Logan's legacy. Maybe if we just developed Logan's children more, it'd be a little more interesting. But in the end, Wolverine's kids are a mixed bag. Some have become fan favorites, standing tall in their own right, while others have faded into obscurity. The trope of secret children may be overdone, but when it works, it can add layers to one of Marvel's most iconic characters. But what do you think? Are Wolverine's kids a failure, or do they add something special to his legacy? Do we have too many Wolverine kids running around, or should there be a whole army of Wolverine kids? Let me know in the comments below, and thanks for watching.